All right, let's just get started. Okay. Yeah, welcome to the April 25th, 2023 blockchain meeting. So we'll get started with mainnet chicken.
Things on mainnet seem good. Modulo, everything that's going on related to POX.
Testnet?
Looks like everything.
Yeah,
Oh.
go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
Everything with testnet is okay. The testnet was upgraded last night to fix the POX issue, and we're still monitoring it. Everything looks good so far, though.
All right, let's head over to the issues. Yeah, I guess we're already on issues. Great. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't leave it last week. Okay. Let's maybe start here. Actually, did we discuss this last week? What was the last thing we discussed? Does anyone remember? Okay. I'm just gonna start at the first thing that doesn't have an owner. Okay. Do not reward orphaning. Okay, so this is just like a proposal to change the mining stuff.
Yes, we discussed this. There was supposed to be a follow-up call that got pushed so we could focus on the current POX issue. I think we have a call on Friday to discuss more about this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tempted to add another label called like protocol changes or something, but maybe I'll do that later. There's like a bunch of things like this. Okay.
Okay.
What's up now? We'll do this. Absolute limit on block commitment parent depth. Okay. Oh, so this is also. Okay. Yeah. Relates to Nakamoto change. Who can I assign as an owner?
You can assign me as an owner on all of these SIP 21 fork rules issues.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I'll just get through that. Yeah. Okay. Any Is it also a SIP 21 issue?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Peg handoff wire format. There's a new wire format. Great. Okay. Fairly straightforward. Yeah, I don't see that we have to discuss this. Okay. Performance degradation. Charlie, do you want to discuss this?
I just noticed that after upgrading to the latest release, that there were some performance issues on the V2 endpoint. So I posted all the information needed below. So we can't obviously like downgrade to a previous release. But if we could get like any maybe research on this or
Mhm.
thoughts on what it could be.
I don't know if we want to downgrade this though. I remember Aaron mentioning that we want to keep the version as is and downgrading would be a big problem.
Yeah,
Unless I remember
exactly.
it correctly. Yeah.
Like, yeah, downgrading a stacks node is not really an option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying. I tried to look a little bit more into this last week before other issues sort of cropped up. But the actual like sort of code paths in the follower that handle all of these endpoints were like completely untouched by that 0.0.3 patch. So I'm like not sure that it's related to that release. Like just like the behavior of those V2 endpoints such that that only one request can be processed at a given time. And so if you get queuing, then you end up with these like 20-second request times, even though the node itself reports that it's processing all of these requests very, very quickly. Like if you look at the Prometheus metrics on the node, like it's reporting that, you know, it's handling the 97th percentile of requests in like under 400 milliseconds. But it's not taking into the fact that it's queuing. And so, yeah, I do think that there is performance problem happening here, clearly. But I'm pretty doubtful that it's actually related to 2.1.003.
Yeah, like especially over the past week, like I'm kind of in the middle of the road as well, because we saw these performance issues on the Stacks node when we upgraded the Stacks node, but we also upgraded the API that was proxying requests to the Stacks node. But I know that the API is just doing like a very simple handoff. So seeing how the API could have impacted performance, especially when those code paths were not touched either, I was a little skeptical. But now we've downgraded the API to the previous release, and the performance issues for the Stacks node seemingly went away. So it's difficult to tell if this was just coincidental, like there was maybe like a DDoS happening at that exact moment. But the times do line up almost perfectly. So too perfect maybe for a coincidence like that. Yeah, I think maybe more research needs to be done. Or experiments.
Yeah, I think that's probably just needs to be looked into more.
But I will say though, like the thing that will clear the water up, because right now it's very muddy, is having a more comprehensive HTTP server on the Stacks node, because then we won't need to proxy requests through an API. And just like the performance readouts that we get from the Stacks node will be much more accurate, I feel.
Wasn't there an issue to tweak or change the HTTP server, or am I being delusional?
I think there is, but I also think it's a very old issue. It just hasn't been a high enough priority.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say this is like a probably 3 to 4 year old point of contention in the HTTP server implementation. But yeah, I think that before like trying to figure out whether or not we could, you know, support something like multi-threaded HTTP server, just like sort of figuring out what exactly is going on here, like what is causing this queuing behavior and like why queues built up, would be necessary first.
But there's still no reason to suggest that there is a performance degradation introduced in this version, right? In which case, you should either close this issue or reword it so that people don't get confused.
I think that we are confused on whether there is a performance degradation from this issue or not. I mean, from this release or not, because like the charts show that there definitely is, but maybe we need to perform more tests to confirm or.
Right, right. But I thought I heard you say that we no longer observe this phenomena.
That is when we downgraded the API.
version.
Yeah.
Exactly, but the node version is still the same.
Mhm.
I guess like my point is like if the data is inconclusive, like that's not necessarily a bug. It just means the data is inconclusive.
Well, at the time that I created the issue, it was conclusive in my mind. But then more time passed, and after I created the issue, the performance degradation seemingly went away. So things have happened after this issue was submitted.
Okay, once we're out of the POX kind of issue, maybe we can do another round of deep dive into what exactly is happening here. Until then, maybe we can icebox this. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fair.
Or is someone talking, or did I lose the audio?
No, I was just like reading it because I wasn't sure. But does anyone want to add about this issue, this SVTC issue?
I think this came up in the call yesterday, but I don't have enough detail to comment on this.
Cool. I'm not sure how much discussion SVTC issues need because they clearly are already discussed elsewhere.
Yeah, we can.
So I think, I think we can just generally skip it and then bring it up in those meetings.
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. Cool.
Yeah, so I created this issue just to track the POX3 changes. Whatever Aaron added on Discord, I didn't want to lose track of it. I will leave it up to you and Aaron to handle if you want to create multiple issues of this, but this is more to track the progress for POX3.
Okay, sure, cool. Okay. And so I assume you'll be editing it as we go.
Okay.
Can I add you as a signee?
Yeah, sure.
This is just a super minor thing that I noticed in Aaron's PR. He used max, but the previous ones used max value, and I think that's just because max value is deprecated. But it makes sense to not change things that don't need to change in the PR. So I just wanted to keep track to change that later.
Yeah, I feel like there's already an issue for this, but
Oh yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter that much. So we'll just leave this. Would you just want to be the owner? It doesn't mean you have to do it. You would just be the owner of it.
Yeah, sure.
Great. Let me just check. Oh, okay. Oh no, yeah, okay. Well, I fixed it apparently, but apparently new things have emerged. So, okay. Great. Let's do PRs now. Where's the time? Yeah, we have plenty of time. Okay, we're gonna skip past the frozen. Let's Dusty, any comments on this?
Yeah, I was ready to merge it last week, and then the Fox bug was uncovered, so I held off. I didn't want to affect the work that you all are doing. If you think it's okay, I'll do it today.
It just depends on what branch you're merging to versus what the POX3 changes are going into.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because this will go into the master branch. It definitely changes how the builds happen and how the CI runs.
Yeah, perhaps let's not do this then. That feels like a good call.
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
we'll hold up.
it should work fine, but you know, there could be some issues that would delay the work you're all doing, and that's the last thing I want to do here.
Yeah, I see that. Good call. Plus testing. It looks like it's waiting on my review. Is that the update, Bryce? Just waiting on review?
Yeah, I think so. So Scott pushed some updates to this, and yeah, I think it's just waiting for review.
Whoa. Get burn block info.
This probably got resolved by 2.1.0.0.3, right?
Yeah, I think it did. And like, I think that it would be more obvious to folks that it was resolved by 2.1.0.0.3 once we release a incident report. But yeah, that obviously got caught up in the POX changes.
All right, so I think we'll close it then. We'll close it and we'll say it's already been addressed in the release.
Well, I think that maybe you should ask Franz Ferdinand if he thinks that it's been addressed in 2.1.0.0.3 or something. Yeah, because the 2.0.0.3 release didn't specifically say that it addressed this, but that was the issue it was fixing, was that there was a difference between the minor and the follower paths, and the follower paths actually does the thing that Franz Ferdinand wanted it to do.
Right.
Whereas the minor path didn't. So.
Okay, cool. Add tax notification. Yeah, I just have not addressed the feedback that I got. So I will do that and that will be ready for further commentary. Save and serve block request server. Okay, so the last update is they'll split the PR into multiple smaller ones. Okay, I guess we can just leave it open, and then when they open their new ones, we'll close this. Yeah, this is the microblock anti-entropy protocol. I have a small change that I have to push, and that will be, it's essentially done, but I might have to add a test. So that's the update here. Docker Compose setup for StackerDB. This is still a draft. Do we want to discuss this? Do we want to put it into Icebox?
I would say Icebox it. I've been speaking with Stepyan about this and helping him out. Yeah.
I would perhaps be in favor of iceboxing or freezing every PR that's not related to the POX fixes.
Okay,
I just think realistically.
I think that's a phenomenal idea.
Let's do that. Can we just do that like kind of conversationally, or do you want me to put the label on it? Because I can do that too.
Yeah, let's throw the label on it.
Okay. Don't you dare look at these or
Yeah.
update them. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put the label on it. This one can remain. All right. This is I'll leave these ones unfrozen. It's my impression that like the people working on SBTC are just gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, but people like me and Jude are like tagged as reviewers on these, so I think we should be pretty explicit here too that we're not going to look at these.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This here,
I think that can be closed. 3674. Yeah.
Okay, let's start discussing these ones because these are
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, do you want to give an update on this?
Yeah, so this was sort of like option A for dealing with the POX issues that we'd seen. Unfortunately, option A was not sufficient to deal with the problems in POX2. And so we need to go with just a sort of more heavy-handed approach where we're going to disable POX and then re-enable it with a subsequent hard fork. So yeah. So I'm
All right,
close this one.
should I close it?
I can close it.
Oh, you can close it.
I'm looking at the close button.
Okay, cool. Nice. Oof. Great. Then we have a draft. Well, it's just a draft, so it's not like we're looking at it anyway, so we can just leave that be. I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not be explicit? Okay. And then yeah, this is not related. Okay. And then now we have this.
Yeah, so this is PR is no longer a draft, and it's just waiting on so the final reviews before we can merge it. This PR, as it says, it introduces a new epoch 2.2. In epoch 2.2, proof of transfer is disabled, and anybody who is locked in POX2 becomes auto unlocked.
Great. Yeah, I think it would be very beneficial to have as many eyes on this as possible today. And I know we have like a 3 reviewer rule, but I think anyone that has the bandwidth today really should be taking a look at this. Even if you're not like, I don't know, typically on this repository.
Yeah, I added everyone that I possibly thought could help.
Yeah.
So please.
I mean, I would feel better if we added some community members to review it as well, if at all possible.
Yeah, I think Friedger should be on the review if possible.
What is Friedger's GitHub handle?
Friedger.
Yeah.
Oh, it just didn't show up.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We can figure it out. But yeah, I would just like to see community members take a look at it and, voice their ideas and input on it.
Okay. Yeah, to 3677. Jesse, can I put you in charge of doing that?
Yes.
Cool. All you have to do is add people.
Yeah. I'll target a few people that I know specifically and just call them out in the Discord channel, just to ping them on it.
Okay, that'd be wonderful. Okay, cool. And then this is the priority for today, to finish reviewing it, and hopefully potentially get it reviewed. I mean, accepted as well. Okay.
I think that one can be closed.
Disables the call to handle unlock. So is this also part of like the defunct solution thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Great. And lastly, we have the PR, which is merge changes for DevNet.
Yeah, so this one will never actually get merged. It's just basically I'd like to keep the branch open. We can close the PR eventually, and I'll just keep the branch there because this is basically just a patch that needs to be applied to make the node work with DevNet. So after we have like kind of a working version, and maybe I'll see if Ludo can take a look at it, then we can close the PR and just leave the branch.
All right, great. Okay, so that's it for issues and PRs. Let's move into discussion. So PUX3 update. Does anyone feel called to give that update?
Aaron might be the best person, but I also know that before we get onto the update, there's a question that I think Hero Gamer had on the SIP. If that was the latest, the one that Jude raised last week. That seems to be the earlier proposer.
It's just the documentation on the SIP PR itself. It's a little bit, I guess it was the last solution, and I think you guys have evolved since. And the SIP, the CADs actually look at the SIP draft itself. So if we want to get all the reviewers on ASAP, I guess. So the earlier the draft can be updated to match to the latest solution, the earlier the older reviewer can jump in and
Yeah, that's a good point. So I think that SIP 22 needs to be updated. Just to describe the fact that POX is being disabled.
Yeah, and Jude is not on the call, but I believe he had volunteered to update the SIP since he wrote this original version as well. So if someone can just check with him before we figure out like if we need someone else to jump on that.
Okay, cool. Jesse, could you potentially also check in with Jude?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So basically, Jude
okay,
wants-
I can ping Jude. It's fine. I can ping him.
Okay, sure. Wonderful. Anything else for the SIP? Maybe we should have a fallback owner in case Jude can't do it, which would be reasonable.
I mean, I would say people who are already busy with testing probably should stay focused on testing, and someone who's not doing testing should help out with the SIP. So I'm not sure, Pavitra, if you're helping out with testing, but maybe you can help. I'm happy to sign up as well if required. But I really feel like anyone
I
who's
can be the
directly
fallback.
working on the changes should
Yeah,
stay focused
I'll be the
on.
fallback.
Thanks.
Great. So okay, cool. And then anything else for PX3 that we want to discuss here? Because this is just an update because we do have the thing. Oh yeah, I'll just give it. But yeah, just to put it in this broader call. The update is that there is a daily sync from 10:40 a.m. EST, and that's going to be happening for the next 2 weeks. Everyone is free to join. It's on the Stacks Foundation calendar, and the current update is that the focus for the next 2 days is to get Aaron's PR, which disables POX2 and then auto unlocks people's funds in the next reward cycle. And then after that gets done, the next focus is just getting POX3 contract out. And yeah, that's basically the high level idea of what's happening. Cool. And then the next update is for the Bitcoin MEV issue that we've seen on the network. The update there is that we have we've gotten back from the researcher that we've had that we've contracted to delve into this issue, and we have the next part of the report. I'll be finishing up going through that report and releasing it. And yeah, and obviously the priority right now is POX3, but we can start thinking about some engineering resources and what's going to happen with that. Yeah, because that might shift for sure because of the POX3 stuff. But I can post updates about that. Great. And yeah, anyone have any other things they would like to discuss?
Nope.
Wonderful. All right. I'll end the meeting here then.
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.